that comes with being a woman that is so ride or die about love.
God, this is up.
When you can't control what's happening to you, control how you respond to it. That's where your power is.
Bravery is not the absence of fear. Bravery is feeling fear and moving forward anyway.
Dreams without goals are just dreams.
You cannot win the war against the world if you can't win the war against your own mind.
You do make a difference. As weak as you are, as tired as you are, as many mistakes as you made, you do make a difference.
When it feels scary to jump, Ian, that is exactly when you jump. Otherwise, you end up staying in the same place your whole life.
People's opinion of you is none of your business, nor should you make it yours.
A real loser is somebody that's so afraid of not winning, they don't even try.
You can't let your failures define you. You have to let your failures teach you.
Insecurity kills more dreams than failure ever will.
Stop worrying about what other people think about you, and be sure that you think correctly about yourself.
Develop your communication skills, because once you open your mouth, you tell the world who you are.
Literally, I feed this man and our kids. We created them out of love. How could I ever block you? Stop hurting me. Please. Especially because you know I really...
Welcome to When the Game Change.
King Beats. Pando, kill the beat.
See, what you gotta understand is, this is the rawest, the realest, the most truthful, the most controversial red pill of them all. You're gonna get nothing but that raw, that uncut, that day-to-day, that makes you stronger as a man, that keeps you going. But first, I introduce you to Anthony Spade. It's a new day, men gotta wake up. Can't stay stuck when you're down on your luck. The game fucked up, but the world don't care. In the lockdown, there's a change in the air. Now they got a mask that they force you to wear. Everybody's scared, but they hoping for prayers. Stuck in the house, hibernating like a bear. Stressed out from the kids, about to pull out your hair. When the game changes, man, you gotta change with it. Can't wait for it, so you gotta go get it. There's money out there, but you really don't see it. Without a price mask, you ain't going near it. It's easier to talk than it is to walk. Got the heart of a tiger with the eye of a hawk. Looking down at the flock that be hugging the block. Year after year, still fucking with cops. See, when you take that red pill, it opens your mind up to all of your insecurities that are holding you back. It allows you to develop the confidence to fix those insecurities, to transition them into confidence. See, the guy that you want to be, you've never been him before, so you don't know what it's like to feel like him. But all you have to do is find out who you are. Once you find out who you are, then you could be the king of your world. Stop looking at someone else's life and looking at their world, thinking that it's supposed to be you. This is Anthony Spade. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notifications button, and donate to the channel. Hasta la vista. Welcome to Anthony Spade Reactions. You're now tuning into Sigma Nation Podcast. We represent the Sigma males over here, which are the introverted alpha males that are focusing on accomplishing dreams and self-improvement. So when I speak from this channel, that's the point of view that I am speaking from. And right now, I'm on my new interface. You guys let me know how the microphone and the music blend in together. Is it cool? Let me get a 1. I want to first give a shout out to that regular dude is definitely in the building. Gizmo is in the building. I Forever Preserving is definitely in the building. Enos is in the building, and John Doe. So far is what I'm seeing. Today we will be talking about why do women intentionally hurt the man they love? And I think this is something that a lot of guys see. Big shout outs to T-Bird. He just entered. Jordan 11 just entered. And this is something that a lot of guys are going through. But we're going to go deeper into detail, break down some psychology of it. Now, in the process of this, if you are in the comments and you are disagreeing for attention, you will be blocked. If you get in the comments after I post a video and you disagree for attention, just to tell me something that I said in the video already, you will be blocked. We're not doing all the trolling over here. Most of my moderators can get a hold of the trollers faster than the trollers can sit in here and get comfortable. So we really don't come across too many trolls. Plus, you have to be subscribed for a little bit. All right? So it looks like everyone is saying that the sounds are right. We do have some, how can I say, sound effects now. We got this. Well, we're going to let it play for a little bit. Got my background music going. We got, oh, y'all can't even hear that. I got to turn the sound effects up more. He said perfect audio. All right. He's in that Miami traffic. Big shout outs to Miami. I'll be down there next week. You already know what's good. All right. So today I do have some reaction videos that I want to go over that I do want to talk about as I get comfortable in the new studio and get comfortable with my new interface that I have been waiting on. All right, so how is everyone else's day? All right, the song's off. Okay, when it comes to the sound effects, I figured I'll go ahead and get my own thing. So when the guys come in that's showing baller status, 50 plus, then you're gonna get one of these.
Sweet.
Okay, all the ballers that come in here, $50, $100 and up, you will get this.
Sweet.
All right, everybody that comes in with the 20, you're gonna get this. All right, I think it's fair that that's the proper ching for you. But if you come back to back and you're a regular and you're a Sigma baller, and the Sigma ballers know who they are, they probably have a wrench by now, then you may get one of these. Follow with this.
Sweet.
You get a special welcoming whenever you come into the chat. Those are the Sigma ballers. Those are the ones that are known for coming in and donating the money. Okay, so why do women intentionally hurt the man they love? We're going to eventually get to that. But first, I want to get around to a reaction video that I had seen earlier. And what else we got going? Let me play some background music. Let me see. Y'all go ahead and let me know. Everything auto, everything good. How did you guys feel about the, I need to stop saying, the sound effects? You think the sound effects are cool? Or you think I need to work on them? I didn't want to use the same sound effects that everyone else is using. All right, Tony McMillan said a 1. Hey, the trick for Miami traffic is to go ahead and pay for that express pass, for real, for real. That's the trick that I've learned with Miami. You just have to suck it up and get in that express lane. He says the sound effects are all right. Spiritual Drip is in the building. Jordan 11's in the building. All right. Just adding a little something extra. I got to get more animated and active over here. All right. So now the first thing that I want to get into is going to be this video. Saudi Arabia is definitely in the building. Nah, bro, turnpike all day. Oh, you must be coming from the other side. I'm used to being over there by 95. I'm used to being in Fort Lauderdale. I'm used to getting on 95, getting on the expressway, taking it all the way down to South Beach, and I'm not really getting off at North Miami and Overtown and all that. I normally go from Fort Lauderdale down into Biscayne and work my way back up. But if you're doing a turnpike, then you're back over there by Sunrise, Coral Springs, Pembroke Pines, Plantation. You're back over in there, bro. Oh, he said, I drive the rig. Oh, okay. All right. So you're definitely on the turnpike if he's driving the rig. Definitely. He said 286 or 95. I take 95 always. 286 will take you all the way back there by Duro. It's like on your way to Homestead. That's how the Mexicans are coming in. They're coming in from Homestead. He said, I'm right off of Sunrise. Big shout outs to the Sunrise exit back there with Inverary and all them niggas. That's where you see all the Haitian niggas for real with all the freedom locks. I call that freedom lock world. All right. Sounds clean. Hey, man, love the channel. Excellent content. All right. Once I get started with the lecture, the only way to really get my attention is to donate to the channel. You donate to the channel, the colors pop up. I immediately stop, answer your question. After I answer your question, I would get back into the lecture. But that's exactly how you grab my attention once I get started with the lecture. And we also have Keandre is definitely in the building. Let's see how you guys are treating me on the likes. All right, we got 93 likes with 132 people in here. Let's go ahead and get those likes up. And donations are welcome. All I ask is that if you do not donate to the channel, just please go ahead and hit that like button. We have Palm Beach in the building. Okay, you could just take 95 all the way down. All right, let's see here. He says, I keep swinging between Puerto Rico and Florida. You're seeing the same thing. It's just that sometimes Miami starts to feel small after a while, and you need to feel a difference. All right, the first thing that I want to start off with today is going to be this video here, where this guy breaks down the reason why today's society are labeled hoes due to the ways why men cannot. All right? Now, he's going to be saying some things that have been said before, but I kind of feel like this is old news. And as a man, we have to learn to adjust to the new waves of life. So you guys let me know if you agree or disagree with this. Let's get to it.
Gives the award, no one even knows that person, and we're not clapping for the person that gave the award. The person that gave money. A promiscuous man is much different than a promiscuous woman.
Still a hoe.
No, a man is a hoe maker, not a hoe.
No.
In this world in general, right, if we're not even speaking about sex, anything that is easy is not respected. If you play a game on easy mode, you don't unlock no new characters, you don't reach no new levels, you don't get any rewards. You play the game on hard mode, you get all the rewards. Since everyone knows it's harder for a guy to get sex, that's why we call them pimps, we call them players, because men and women know that it's hard to get box. And now it's as simple as give and get. So when you get money, oh, I made a come up. If you get an award, you get praise. Everyone is clapping for you. Now let's reverse it. The giver, the person that gives the award, no one even knows that person. And we're not clapping for the person that gave the award. The person that gave money, it's like, okay, you did a good deed. Good for you. Women give sex. Men get sex. Make sense? Women hold the key to sex. Men hold the key to relationships. That's why when a nigga gets sex, we like, oh, you hit that? My nigga. When a nigga gives the ring, because he holds the key to marriage and commitment, when he gives the ring, your girls is like, oh my goodness, oh my God, girl, you got the ring, we praising you. So promiscuity versus the genders is just viewed. A woman that is promiscuous is a hoe. A man that's promiscuous, like, you did something right, you got it.
Okay, I understand where he's coming from. He's pretty much saying that men have to work harder to get the woman more than the woman has to work to get the man. Big shout outs to that man, Spiritual Alpha. Let me give you another one, bro. Big shout outs to Spiritual Alpha with the $2. Really appreciate it, bro. He said salute Spade. Okay, back on this subject right here with this guy. All right, he is making sense, but he's not making sense. This is what you guys have to understand. The agendas are here. What does that mean? You could tell a woman the difference between a man and a woman till you're blue in the face. She's not going to get it because the brainwashing is already settled in. This is why you have parents that allow drag queens to be around their children and they're just sitting there clapping for it. We're in a mental ill state of mind. So the red pill of this is that women feel like they are equal with men, and that's not going nowhere anytime soon. They're not looking to change anytime soon. So over here at Sigma Nation, we're going to adjust to the situation. This is what you have to understand that's going on with women. Right now, women want a man, but the women now can work like a man. They can act like a man. They can get sex like a man. They can do everything that a man is doing. All they're looking for is entertainment, a man to hold his own, and a man to have dominancy. That's all men need right now to do. Far as the who you slept with and how many you slept with and what's the and what's the value, you need to understand this. Here's the red pill of it. A woman would never tell you her number. Never. You would never get it out of her, nothing. And if she do tell you her number, she already making money doing it. So she gonna brag about it because it's something that she is already used to. But the common girl out here that you're going to think about being in a relationship with, she would never reveal that number. And if you go snooping around asking, it's gonna make it look like you're insecure and she's gonna end up leaving you alone. In modern day world, you cannot tell a woman now that men are more valuable because they got to work harder. It's true, but it doesn't work anymore. The agendas are here. When a woman goes to pick up her phone every day, she has hundreds of guys that want to give her money, hundreds of guys that want to take her out, hundreds of guys that want to lick her booty hole, hundreds of guys that are telling her all kind of stuff to get in her ear. So when women sit down on these panels and they start talking to dudes, what men don't understand is there's nothing you're going to tell a woman to get her to change. She can debate you all day and steal your energy, walk outside, and there's still a guy that's going to take her in the condition that she's in. That's what men need to understand. Arguing with women now is an extreme waste of time, and it's an extreme waste of energy. The main thing that you dudes need to do is block a woman out. They're aiming towards the men now that are showing them no attention. Just like the girl says yesterday, if a man has time to text me all day, plan dates, and tell me what I want to hear, he's a loser. Because she knows the guy that's out there that's getting the money, that's valuable, that's working on self-improvement, he looks at those type of games as being immature. And those are facts. As hard as I work, and the little bit of time that I can give to a woman, if the first sign of her acting stupid or dumb and acting combative with me is done with. See, women are going through that stage now. There's only a small percentage of guys that are out here that's willing to work. Not only work and get the money, but are willing to work on themselves to be better. Everybody else is drowning in sorrow. What do I mean? They're standing still, living in sorrow, ashamed of who they are, ashamed that they can't get a woman, ashamed that they're in a state of confusion. That number of men is growing daily. Every day, there's the amount of blue pills that are increasing and the amount of weakness that's increasing in the men. They have outnumbered the amount of men that are actually Sigma and Alpha out here, to the point where a lot of those guys only appear it. So what women are searching for now is just masculinity. They're searching for a stoic dude who's not going to be bothered, but the guy that's not giving her the most attention. The more talking you do now with a woman, the less respected you're going to be in front of her eyes. Now, less is more. Silence is power whenever it comes to a man. That's why I played that at the beginning. It's like what he's saying is true. Men are considered players. Men are considered pimps. They consider to have the trophy because they work harder to get there. But unfortunately, there's a lot of guys that work hard to get there that are still simps that women come across. There's a lot of guys that work to become there that are still soft. And women come across these type of dudes. Women are coming across guys that are good looking, got money, but still can't control their emotions. They're bitter. They're either simps, they're trying to buy her love, or they're trying to talk too much to talk themselves up. And it's turning women off completely. Nowadays, in order for you to be looked at differently to a woman, you must first stick to yourself. You must first be stoic. Next, you must secondly have something that's going on. Women need to know that you love something more than her. That's the most important thing now. A lot of these people, this is what you're facing. Guys like us, the Sigma males, okay, we're kind of like at the top of the totem pole right now. And the reason why we're at the top of the totem pole is because we're constantly persevering forward. All right, we're constantly chasing dreams, but not really paying attention to the women. So the women that want us, we're not paying attention to them. But the guys that are paying attention to the women that want us, the women don't want them. It's a cycle. Simps are looking at the women that want us, and we're not looking at the women that want us because we're focused on our dreams. So a lot of women have to throw themselves in front in order to get me to see them. They have to pretty much try to get with me without trying to get with me. All right? That's where women are at. They're frustrated. All right? And the reason why women are frustrated is because they have too many options. Remember, I told the story of the gremlins. It started out with 4 gremlins. All right, and as the gremlins, when the scientists left and came back, the gremlins have doubled. That's what's happening in modern world. Women are meeting one nice guy, and then all of a sudden, these nice simps are starting to multiply. Now, women have been bogarted with so many soft, weak dudes that want to do everything to them. Why? Because they just need sex. What women are looking for now is pretty much the guy that's not going to entertain them at the end of the day. So we get ready to go ahead and break down, why do women intentionally hurt the man that they love? Okay, I'm about to get started with the lecture. We got Jared in here, 20-year recovery. Keandre is definitely in the building. All right, let's see here. So I want you guys we're going to go into this with you guys understanding. All right, let's get those likes up a little bit more. Okay. Why do women intentionally hurt the man they love? First of all, you have to realize you have more women that are angry and frustrated with their own life. Life itself that we live in now places so much boundaries. It places so much opportunities, but it also has a standard. So what we have here is we have a lot of women that society has fed a standard to them that's saying, all right, in order for you to be a woman and considered a woman, you must be all these things that a man is doing now. So now we have a lot of women that are working hard. They're hardworking women, all right? You have a lot of smart women too. You have a lot of women that's just out to prove to you that they are smart. But what women are noticing is no matter how hard they try to prove that they're smart, someone is smarter than them. No matter how hard that they prove that they can work, someone is outworking them. So you have a lot of women out here who are frustrated because they're trying to achieve something that's unachievable. It's kind of like the women are trying to prove to the world, I don't need a man, but I'm also independent to take care of everything and do everything that I want to do. That as they attempt to do this, they just keep running into more problems, problem after problem, problem after problem, and they're not getting anywhere. So you have a lot of women that are just frustrated to the point where the level of happiness they were supposed to achieve, they're not getting there. So what do women do? They do what everyone does. What does everyone do when they get in a state of confusion with life? They start to look for love. All right, you'll start noticing hardworking women at some point will start to look for love. All right, as they start to look for love, they stop and look around and see who's going to be the best guy that can follow their plan. All right, that's the problem that we're having now. All right. Because women want the alpha guy. They want the guy that's the leader. But they don't even have the personality traits to fit that guy that they want. So what a lot of women are doing now is they're playing the alpha role, looking to get a man that they can manipulate into staying at home. That's one of the main things they want. I want a guy that's just going to do what I want to do. I want a guy that's going to do that because I'm still in competition with society. All right. So what she's going to do is put herself in debt. So you have a lot of women that are putting themselves in debt. They're getting the car they want. They're moving into houses that they want. They're running the credit card bill up. They're putting on to pay for this imagery. Regular dude definitely in the building. He says, crazy how women are not really happy. Exactly. The reason why they're not that happy is because they are in a delusional competition with society and the world, and they're still not winning. Are they winning amongst simps? Yes, they are. Are they winning amongst the weaker men? Yes, they are. But they're winning the guys over. The more they win these guys over, the more miserable they become. See, the thing that hurts a woman the most is to wake up every day and look at a guy that she doesn't even like, but at a guy that she decided to date that was just standing around to keep her from feeling lonely. That's the difference between a man. This is why when a man breaks up with a woman, it hurts harder because he has to turn around and start all over again throughout the dating process. The dating process with a man is harder because he doesn't have that many options. He actually has to build himself up to get the options. But when it comes to a woman, she can start practicing after a breakup the next day. Well, women start doing this too whenever they decide that they want to start dating after they became this workaholic, after they became this girl who's put herself in debt, after they became this alpha woman set in survival mode. They become that, all right? Gizmo said, for real, Aunt, Gizmo, you got to start waiting. They're going to be on top of it. So I lost my train of thought. So what you have is a lot of these girls, they're going to settle, but they want the weaker man, but they're still not happy with themselves. Next thing is going to be lack of emotional maturity. All right? And the reason why so many women have a lack of emotional security is, maturity is because men haven't really put them in position to work hard. Men haven't put women in position to have to prove themselves. Most of these guys are so desperate for women, soon as they get around the woman is automatically right. The woman is automatically true. The guy is just happy for the woman to be around. So we have a world where guys that are not used to being around a woman, what do you mean louder? Hey, do I need to go louder or was I okay? Was my mic louder? Was it okay? Mm-mm. Nobody said nothing about no louder. Man, Mike, you out of here, bro. This ain't what we doing. No, that ain't what we doing. That's far from what we doing, bro. Y'all got to be on top of that. When y'all see somebody doing some stuff like that, get them out of here, bro. You killing my damn concentration. All right. Lack of emotional maturity. And the reason why women lack at emotional they lack at emotional maturity is due to the fact that they never have to be accountable. They always got someone around them that's going to tell them what they want to hear. If a woman really want to feel better, all she has to do is go around another woman. Y'all about to piss me off with this damn volume shit, bro. I'm going to be honest with you. When I go in, I go in. All right, lack of emotional maturity. All right, everybody make sure your volume is up. Next one telling me about my volume is gone. Period. I don't care how long you've been subscribed. You gone. All right, next is going to be lack of emotional maturity. And the reason why a lot of women lack at emotional maturity is the fact that they always have someone treating them like a little girl, like a little princess. They're willing to give into it. You know what I'm saying? So when you have women, especially the cute girls, you'll notice the cute girls can be in their 30s. The pretty girls could be in their 30s and 40s, and they can still start acting like little girls, getting excited like little girls, doing things like little girls because they done spent their whole life with a lot of guys just giving into their beauty. So it's always been someone that's been there to give her money. It's always been someone there that whenever she nagged and she complained or she did something, some guy forgave her and allowed her to do that. So women don't mature as fast. Well, I'm going to tell you right now. The unattractive women are going to mature faster because they have to mature faster because guys are not going to play into their sensitivity in order to be around her. The prettier a girl is, the more it's going to be guys that's going to be telling her that, what's wrong with you? Are you okay? What's this? So she doesn't have to mature because she barely gets to spend time for herself and be accountable for her action and absorb what's been wrong. You have a lot of women that are doing that now. Whenever times get hard, it's more like, let me just put myself around a simp. Once I put myself around a simp, he's going to automatically give in, and then she could go back to being this little girl again. She never has to mature because there's a guy that's always giving in. The downfall about that is the guy that gives in, now whenever she gets frustrated, she knows she can lash out at you. See, all of this babying her up is there for her to lash out at you. It's kind of like this. A lot of bots that are online, you lash out at your parents. You lash out at mom. You curse grandma out. You curse your family members out. And then you come online and you be all gully into someone else. Everybody has a family member that does that, where they treat you bad, but then they go around other people and they treat them good. All right? This is what you have. A lot of you guys that are online and you don't get along with your parents, you curse your parents out all the time, but then you'll bow down to somebody else online that you don't even know. So you got to realize why? Because your parents allow you to do it. They allow you to not be accountable for things. When you get around parents that just spoil their kids and they don't know how to train their kids, they don't know how to talk to their kids, they just feel, oh, I just got to tell my kid anything. Okay, eventually that kid's going to grow up and be the parent's worst nightmare. And now if you go look at Netflix, you got a lot of these kids that are taking their parents out because they're blaming their parents for their entire life. Well, this is what happens when men are in relationships with women who have not emotionally matured. They start to talk to them like they're little kids and like they're little girls. And the moment they try to get her to grow up is the moment she's going to lash out. That's what you got to realize. You always see these girls where they done got gifts and they're like, oh, I didn't want that at all. Go back and get me another gift. Guys are spending all this money and they're like, I don't want that. And he's looking at her like, how come you're not happy? It's because you're dating a girl that you thought was pretty, right? You thought she made you look good because all the guys wanted that girl and all the girls wanted to be that girl. You felt she made you look good. But that same girl before you, she was dating other guys that couldn't take it because she didn't mature. Like, look at the story with the girl that had the husband been married 4 times and she killed her own kids because she met some dude that told her that her kids were bad. So you have to understand, she was a pretty woman. So a lot of pretty girls are going to be the women who don't mature emotionally because they were able to be a little girl for a longer period of time. And the relatability is the introverted kid who sits inside of his room, chipped up, and gets mad when mommy bothers him to ask him if he wants something. Don't you get it right? Okay, you the same way. Your parents have been babying you. You never had to mature into an adult and be accountable for your own actions and be accountable for your own life. So you just lash out at a person that you could just throw it on to. Okay, this is what women who are emotionally not mature because guys have been treating them like little girls, they're going to lash out onto the man and treat him bad. Why? Because in her eyes, you either got to baby me or I move on to the next guy. And that's what a lot of women do, especially the pretty ones. They're not gonna mature emotionally because they never had to. All they had to do was look pretty, and here comes a guy that's gonna just treat her like she's a princess all over again. Pretty girls will get married like 3-4 times if they want to. Whenever the guy gets done being that little simp and he wants to grow up, she'll create an argument and start a divorce, or she'll create an argument and ruin the relationship, all right? It's called emotional maturity. They lack it because there's always been men in their life that treated them like a little princess based off the way that they look, all right? Let's get to it. He says, Dominique, you're in danger. Dominique, what's happening here, bro? I got the volume up. I'm looking at all of my screens are showing that this volume should be good. All right. Next, crave power. Let me tell you something. The woman who's intentionally going to hurt the man they love doesn't have any power going into the relationship. She has no power going into the relationship. When I say crave power, this is where you have women who are trying to become the man that's dogging them. All right? See, you have, when I say crave power, you're going to have girls that get in a relationship. And then while they are in the relationship, they're allowing the man to lead the relationship. But they really want to lead the relationship. It's kind of like if you stop and look at the Tom Brady and Gazelle situation. She let him lead the situation. And then when he wouldn't lead the football, what did she do? She wanted a divorce so she could move on with her life. So she feels like she's getting her power back. Okay, you're going to have a lot of girls that do this where they reach a desperate status. And they're going to be desperate about their relationships, right? So while they're desperate in their relationships to get one, they're going to let the man run the relationship, especially a man with power. And keep in mind, most guys that have a woman that's going to treat them bad, it's going to be a guy that have money. I'm just telling you that right now. Most guys who are going to get treated bad is going to be treated bad because they use their money to leverage love. Okay, these type of girls that's going to be craving the power are going to be the ones building up while she's in the relationship. She's going to be paying attention to his flaws, and then she's going to be looking for something to leverage over his head in order for her to do something. You have women that get in marriages, and they allow their husband to cheat. They allow their husband to do something, and they sit back and act like it doesn't even exist, and that they're just playing stupid. And then one day they pop up and say, hey, I know you're doing this, I know you're doing this, and I know you're doing that. You can't say nothing to me now. And the reason why you can't say nothing to me now is because we have to be together because of our kids. We have to be together because of this. But I'm going to go get me another guy. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go do that. So you have to understand there's girls that are going to be craving the power over you, but they're not going to want it at first. They're going to work their way up to the power in the relationship, and you'll see the relationship take a flip where the guy thought he was the alpha male. He thought that the woman was following him, just to find out she took control over the relationship by pinning stuff against him. You see a lot of marriages do this, where women are just sitting back and they're waiting. They're like, hey, yo. He said, Anthony, can I send you a link to react to? Yeah, try putting it in the chat. Okay? So the crave of power is one of the reasons why women do it. But initially, I see it happening in a relationship. Now, the ones that don't build up that way are typically going to be narcissists on the outside, and they're going to be narcissists up front. That's another one that's going to crave power. A narcissist is going to always treat the person bad because that's the reason why they're in the relationship with that person in the first place, is to lash out on them because they know that they're going to take it. All right? The next reason that a woman is going to lash out is going to be jealousy and insecurity. You'll see a lot of girls do this whenever you get in a situation where they think another girl is going to like you. She'll start to blame you for other girls liking you. She'll start blaming you for something another girl did. Or why are you over there looking at her? Well, you looking like this. Or you may be out to dinner. She said, why are you looking at the waitress like that? So they're going to lash out whenever they think that you're going to come across someone that's better than them. But in most cases, when it comes to women, whatever they are accusing you of is normally something that they want to do. I'm going to say it again. Whenever a woman starts to accuse a man of something, it's typically something that they want to do. So keep in mind that when it comes to these ladies that are jealous and insecure, Sarah Williams comes in with the $20. Oh, let me do it again. Big shout outs to Sarah Williams with the $20 saying you're amazing. You know what? I really appreciate the girls that donate whenever they come in. I could say that. The women that do come up in here in Sigma Nation, they do show some love and they do donate. We really appreciate it over here. All right, the jealousy and insecure part. A lot of you guys get caught up in this situation. Well, not a lot of guys. Some guys get caught up in this situation where she's always blaming you for stuff, or you looking at her, or you may be cheating on me, who that girl you're talking to. But what you have to understand is, if she's accusing you of that, then that's something she want to do. Trust me, there's a guy out here or something, and all she's trying to do is just find the courage to do that. Trust me, you can start seeing women from afar when they start setting shit up. That's going to happen in the future. All right, regular dude says, is a little jealousy healthy from a woman? Yes, it keeps her on top of her toes. But what you have to understand is it's a certain things of little jealousy and possessiveness. All right? Little jealousy is cool, just a little jealousy, because it just makes her feel good. The more women that a guy can attract, the more proud the woman is. That's what you have to understand. Women like having a guy that's the girls can't get. It's just that once she get her, she's just kind of like, all right, I ain't got no kid. I need to lock this in. I need to get me a kid. I got the guy that all the girls want. Let me get my kid, or let me get a ring. That's the main thing that's running through their mouth. So keep in mind, the more attractive you are, or the more women trying to get with you, trust me, she likes it. But then there's possessiveness, where I'm speaking from the possessiveness side on why women hurt a man. This is where the woman is not jealous because she has somebody that all the girls want. No, she has somebody that she's trying to control into a slave. 9 times out of 10, a lot of girls that's really hagging the man about this, it's not a man that got his life together. It's typically some hood rat chick taking care of some nigga that was just desperate. That's what I see most of the time when you have the possessiveness side. Now, on the healthy side, she may be a little jealous, but she still ain't gonna take it out on you. That's what you gotta realize. When some women are jealous, they're never gonna take it out on you. They may get mad at the girl. They'll be the type like, why are you talking to my man? Why are you doing that with my man? Why are you hanging out with my man? That's healthy jealous. When she starts to try to find a fault in the girl that was there, when she starts looking at the girls differently, that's healthy jealous. When she looking at you, like, are you looking at that bitch? Are you talking to that girl? Who, you flirting with that girl? And you sitting there looking like, man, what the fuck? I don't even know that girl. That's what I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about the possessiveness side of the woman hurting the man in the relationship. The healthy side is she knows she has a man that other girls are gonna like. All right. The next is going to be mental issues. All right. A lot of people, as I stop and look at the world, a lot of people in general, we're living in a mentally ill world. This is why I stress to people, when people start talking about friends and how to have friends and how to meet friends, I tell them, I don't have just because friends now. Just because friends worked 30 years ago, 20 years ago, in the mental condition that we are in now, you cannot have no just because friends. Another thing that I'm going to say, the better she is in bed, the more mentally ill she's going to be. I'm just going to be honest with you. The girls who are the best in bed are going to be the girls with the most mental issues because they do anything. It's like sex is their outlet because they get the dopamine releases from it. And typically, this is the type of girl that gets a lot of men trapped in. It's in the bedroom. Jared, 20-year recovery. He says, women are insecure when you look better than them. You're absolutely right, which is why in a lot of cases, you have to make sure that you have a girl that's matching you as well. Like if you're in the gym, like you're a guy, you got the six pack and you got that. Okay, you just don't want to go with a scrubby woman. You kind of want a girl that's going to compliment you as well. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to look too far good than your woman because that'll get you as well. When it's all said and done, you're going to see most women are going to be in relationships with guys with dad bods. Like you see so many guys with dad bods, and it's because, like you're right, they get insecure, so they'll rather be with a guy that they know cannot be that good looking. But we're talking about the real pretty ones up there. They're going to be very insecure. But as a man, don't date too low either, and don't date too high. Try to find it in the middle whenever you're dealing with these women. All right, mental issues is something that, this is why I tell you guys, you have to move slow in the modern world. And the reason why you have to move so slow in the modern world is because you don't know what mental issues that people are under now. You don't know what, I read this, I was watching this documentary the other day, and they were saying that the world is led in cults. People keep creating these cults of thinking, and people are just finding ways to jump inside of these cults because everybody is on the internet trying to find somewhere to fit in. There's too many people trying to find somewhere to fit in that are just standing still. So we're living in a world where mental issues is all about what cult that you are under. We can say Sigma Nation's a cult, but I'm only promoting for you to chase your dreams. I'm promoting you to how can I say, self-improve. I'm not promoting you to say, hey, we have a God and we praise this and we think like this and we go like this and one day we're going to take over the whole world. We ain't doing that over here. Over here is simple. The introverted alpha male that's chasing his dream and self-improving. That's it. Everybody else, you have your preferences. But when it comes to mental illness now, you have to understand the main thing that's making women become mentally ill is the overdose of weak men. That's what's making women the most depressed, I would say, is having so many options, but no quality. They want quality. They're all going to track to the quality. But when they have so many men to choose from and no quality, they feel like that's what's driving a lot of women to be mentally ill. So what they're doing is they're settling to keep from being lonely. So you have a lot of girls that are getting in relationships with these simps, but they're with these simps just to keep from being lonely. But the simps don't understand is that she's mentally ill because she can't get the man that she really wants. That's what's really going on. So you have a lot of women out here, they're in the relationships because they don't want to be alone, but they're going mentally ill because it's draining their spirit to be with a man that they don't love. This is why you have so many men that are getting hurt. It's because women are overdosing on men, and then when they go to settle down and say, I just want a boyfriend, they're getting with guys that they're just like, oh man, I don't really want this dude. He's driving me angry. Where's the guy that I really want? That's what women are battling now. It used to be where they had the power, like, look at me, I'm sexy, and I have all the guys, and they just want me, right? But now every girl has an OnlyFans. The money done dropped from there. You feel what I'm saying? Now every girl's walking around with the spandex, with the booty in the crack, with their breasts hanging out, with their hair dyed a different color, with all the tattoos. All of them are still in the gym. Every girl's doing the same thing, but not getting the results that society told them that they're supposed to get. At this point, they're supposed to have a guy who has a Ferrari, that lives in a mansion where they can go jet skiing every day. Their closet is supposed to be all pink. Them and their girlfriends are supposed to be going out to doing brunch. By now, she should have that, but they're not getting it. All they found is that they are sitting inside a debt that they have to work forever to pay off. Big shout outs to Top Foreign Promotions came through with the $9.99. He says, I enjoy the content, bro. Enough respect. You're top 5 on YouTube, bro. Straight facts. We really appreciate it, my dude. We got Rodney Scott came in with the $4.99. He says, my high school years and my early years to mid-20s, I felt ways about females that I didn't feel the same, that I didn't feel the same about me. Okay, Rodney Scott. Big shout out to Top Performance too. I really appreciate that. I'm going to answer Rodney Scott. Rodney Scott, you shouldn't be ashamed of that. When it comes to a man, I could probably tell you 95% of guys from the ages of 16 through 30, including myself, we're going to go through the motions with women. There's not going to be somebody that's born and they just naturally have this figured out. It's not going to work. And the reason for that is, it's because women can practice earlier than guys. Guys can't practice with women until they're like 16, 17 when you start maturing more. And it's mainly the girls that are just throwing it at you. You still don't have guys that are chasing women at that age. When you're young, a lot of you guys, you're going to get your heart broke. You're going to get rejected. But so is the woman that's throwing herself at the guy that she thinks wants him. She's going to get rejected as well. Why? Because everybody's testosterone and pheromones levels are developing as a teenager. All right, this is something biological and chemically that's just going to happen with your body. You're going to start seeing women's booties. That's going to be cute. Their elbow going to be cute. The smell of the conditioner in their hair is going to be cute. Their makeup is going to be cute. And she may not even be a cute girl, but you're just going to see her and you're going to like her and you're not going to know why. It's going to be the same thing with women. They're going to see guys that they just know, I don't know why I like him, but when I'm next to him, my pussy is wet. And I start to feel these certain moods. Everyone's going to go through that because your body is changing. Remember, I told you, I had a mom that was giving me game. I had a mom telling me about women, what and what not to do. I was still messing up because I was still being a simp. Why? Because biologically and chemically, my body wanted sex because I was growing up as a man. My testosterone levels increased. This is why we just keep thinking about sex. So we're going to go through that phase because we don't have enough women that are going to want us back, right? But a woman's going to always have a man that wants to sleep with her, so she has more time to practice. And that follows her for the rest of her life until she starts to age bad. But if a woman doesn't age bad, she could stay inside of this unemotional maturity for the rest of her life due to the weaknesses of men that can't control their desires. Women are already cheating because at any given moment, they could just walk outside, put on some makeup, boom, have a guy. A guy has to work towards to get that. So the swap comes in the 30s. In the 30s, men have gained the knowledge. They have matured out of that. And then they start to look at life better. But women who haven't emotionally matured, they start to fall from grace as they get in their 30s. And as they get in their 30s, the guys that are in their 30s that are elevating don't want them, so they start to look down at younger men to manipulate more. So the game starts to flip itself around at some point. So if you're in your mid-20s, guess what? Don't feel bad. Everything changes when you get to your 30s. Just make sure that you do not repeat the same mistake twice. All right? You have to go through these mistakes. You have to go through these sorrows. You have to go through these heartbreaks. You have to go through these things in order to make you stronger in the future. Remember, pain is weakness leaving the body, period. If you do not go through the pain, you're not going to mature enough to handle the glory later. All right? So stop tripping too much on women and realize this is just the growing pains of life that's going to make you stronger in the future. You guys just make sure you keep moving forward. Big shout outs, bro. Really appreciate the $5 coming in here. All right. Save the questions to the end. He's right. Well, you can get to the questions. You just have to donate. If you want me to ask a question, just make sure you donate. If not, you have to wait to the end. Okay, let's see here. Next, and this is a big one why a lot of guys get talked to bad. She has unresolved relationships from previous relationships. All right. She's coming out of an abusive relationship. She's coming out of a bad relationship. All right. When you talk to her, she's always talking about her ex and how bad life was. Right. She may have a kid with him that's always keeping her and tuned in with him. When you catch a girl that's coming out of a relationship and she never had closure, she's going to treat you bad because she's still angry from the last relationship. So a lot of guys that get treated bad in relationship, the woman's going to intentionally treat you bad because you're coming into her life at a time where you're a rebound dude. She grabbed you because the last guy hurt her. So she's grabbing men just to say, hey, I got a man. You know what I mean? Like here. But she's going to treat you bad because you're a prop. When you're a prop boyfriend, you're going to be treated bad because she's trying to make someone else jealous from the previous relationship. It's kind of like when a lot of you guys get hurt and you go to sending me them emails, Like, Aunt, how do I get my girlfriend back? How do I make my ex mad? Should I post pictures with me and my new girl? Or should I do this? Or should she see me with another girl? Okay, well, guess what? You're trying to get another girl that's going to play along with you, right? But a woman can grab a dude and play this game without him ever knowing. That's what you got to realize. She can go out the very next day and grab a homeboy or something and immediately start making the old guy in the relationship jealous while giving the new guy the headache. And a lot of you guys have been in this position where you're dealing with girls who are aggressive, been in some bad relationship. She arguing with her ex all the time, talking about him, but the sex is good and you stay inside the relationship being treated like shit because the sex is good. Big shout outs to Ross Peru. He came in with the $5. He says, hey man, been riding motorcycles, dropping engines. I'm planning a 52-foot sailboat delivery from Capo to San Diego. I'll always catch your lives later. Big shout outs, bro. Really appreciate that, man. That's Ross Peru. He's normally in here. I thought he had a wrench. Well, you working on your wrench. You getting close, brother. All right. So unresolved conflicts with exes is one of the biggest things that get you abused in a relationship. It's because she hasn't healed from pain that she had before. All right. Let's go to the next one is going to be selfishness. But that goes all the way back up to lack of empathy. Most girls are going to be selfish. And let me tell you something. Men can't really get mad at this. Most girls could be selfish. It's because they have someone to give in to them. If you was to stop, and I told you guys, do this, and I did this years ago when I first started Sigma Nation. Go online, find you a Google image of a woman. You know what I mean? You could type in fake Google images, and Google will give you a picture of a woman that you could use that won't be any copyrights on it. Build a social media account, all right? Using a woman's cover, come up with a woman's name, period, and just post that photo in there with a woman's name, write some bullshit into the description, and then sit back and watch and look at the comments come in. As the comments come in, you will say to yourself, this is not a real woman. This is a fake photo, and I'm a fake person. But these guys are treating it as if this is a real person. And just stop and look at the type of comments that you get on what the guys are saying, how far they want to take it with the woman. That's what women are facing every single day that they wake up. They have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of guys that are telling them, I love you. I want to do this. I want to be with you. I care about you so much. They coming up with the littlest shit to talk about. See, when you do that as a man, you start to look at women from their perspective, not from the hurt perspective that you go through trying to get them or the victimized perspective that you may end up going through with them. When you can stop and you look at what type of messages women are getting, you'll understand why they walk around bougie. You'll understand why they're selfish. And your game plan going towards them will be different. Because if you look at what men are actually saying, then you have to find a new way to come at her, or you'll realize why saying nothing is more powerful than what you think. So I'm going to say it again. If you really want to understand women, create a fake online account using a woman's picture, a woman's name, type some bullshit in the comments or in the description like you're a woman, and just watch what type of messages she get. And I guarantee you, after that, you would learn the perspective of what women are looking at every single day. All right? Somebody, Antonio Bradley says, my ex got a new roommate like that. All right, well, you got to understand. That's one of the things that women are going to go through. The next is going to be lack of empathy. All right, and the reason for that is because women are not going to directly relate to a man's emotions. You have to understand it. How can I say this without being disrespectful? A woman never gives a fuck about a man's emotions. Never. They're always looking for a leader. Any type of signs of complaining, they think you're weak. Any type of sign of nagging, they think you're weak. You know why? Because all the strong men say less to them. All the strong men complain about. They don't complain at all. They accept what needs to happen and they get up and fix it. So women have lack of empathy because 95% of guys are not even men to them. They're just guys who need sex. So they're emotionalists to the guy because he already has the traits that she assumes to be a weak man. Like, for instance, if you stop and look at these panels where you have all of these people, you have groups of men debating with women, mainly the black community. You have all these channels where men and women are debating. None of these girls will date any of these guys on the panel. They would never date them because they're on there for attention. They're on there because they're bored at home. They're on there to get something to do. The guys are on there to prove a point, but they're not realizing the girls just want attention. They actually think they're trying to come to an end conclusion. A woman don't want to come to an end conclusion. They're there to stay busy, but the guys think they're proving a point. But the more you try to prove a point to women, the weaker she think you is. You would never debate yourself into a relationship. It's that simple. You would never debate a woman into changing. It just doesn't work. Women only change for guys that they respect. They don't change for guys that prove them wrong. They never have. The guy that proves them wrong is just a guy they're going to stay away from. Because if she's not attracted to him, then it's like, all right, he got me, but I can get my power back by going over to this dude. He'll let me win. That's how women are. You want to win with women at the end of the day. You don't want to be disrespected and you don't want to be hurt. It boils down to this. Less is more. The more you talk, the more you text, the less value you have as a man. It's that simple. She knows at the end of the day, a man who is on his grind has limited time to spend with her. And during that limited time, if she says the wrong thing, he's gone. That's how I am. That's how we are. If I know I don't work 90 hours a week and I can only get away on Tuesday and you say, oh, I'm not busy till Friday, I won't see you that week, sweetheart. I'm not adjusting to you, nigga. I got my life together. Okay, when you the guy that can't say that because you really don't have nothing going on and you can text her all day, you can question her all day, you're setting yourself up to get used just by doing too much communication. When you're not communicating with her, every time you see her, she's going to be a better woman. Because every time that she goes that long without you, she's going to start adjusting herself to be a better woman when she does get around you. You guys do this. You get comfortable around women and you spill the whole beans. You just start talking yourself up, constantly talking. Okay, she's like, damn, you convinced me you're an entrepreneur. You convinced me that you're busy. You convinced me that you're interesting. But everything that you convinced me of says that you're going to be busy all the time. Why are you texting me in the morning? Why are you texting me in the afternoon? Why are you making it a routine to text me when you have all this shit going on in your life? Now you look like a liar. This is why you have to stay away from internet dating. You know why you have to stay away from internet dating? Because you can create the perfect conversation. And then when you get around someone, there's no chemistry. See, you can see a woman will be talking to 7 dudes at once. And she'll be taking forever to respond back to you. But you dudes may get in a good conversation with a woman, right? Where you're ready to continue it. But it ain't about natural energy. Every time she says something, you're taking the time out to make sure that you say the perfect thing back on what you think gonna sound good. So online, you have both. You have women being clever with their words, and you have the man that's being clever with his words. So it's like, all right, we tricked each other into making each other look interesting. That's what online does. You can trick each other into being an interesting person. But then when you meet up face to face, it's an entire different ball game. And you'll realize people are not who they say they are. They don't think like that. They don't act like that. They don't walk like that. They don't talk like that. They don't do any of that. You have to stay online. That's why you lose going online. This is why women keep winning. You have an online mindset. You want to know What is it that I can say, act, talk, and walk that's going to trick a woman into liking me? You're not going to be able to do that. Because when it comes to a woman, she starts learning about men at a teenage age. That by the time she's 25 and 26, she know who's who and what's what. If you ain't got nothing that's distracting you from going on the date, she would never respect you. Listen to what I'm telling you. Never respect you. Calling her morning texts, oh, you're getting played. I'm going to tell you right now, morning texts are going to get you paid, are going to get you played. Texting just because, that's going to get you played. You do all of this and you win her over, you'll still get played because she'll treat you like crap. All right? And that's the end of the lecture. Why do women intentionally hurt men that they love? I do have reaction videos that we're going to go over. If you have any questions, let's go ahead and get those in. Let's let the music play. While we get ready to go to the second half with the reaction videos. All right? Get your questions in now. Let's get those donations in now. Show me some love. Sign up number 1. Big shout outs, bro. He says, thank you for spreading your wisdom. Respect, bro. Really appreciate it. Tony McMillan with the first one. Y'all get it up. To get my throat back. Let's check the likes. If you like that lecture, let me get a number 1 on that lecture. I got 276 likes with 319 in the building. Let's go ahead and let's get those likes up at least over 300. And you guys make sure you get your questions in. So far, we got 1 question from Tony McMillan. All right, everybody like the lecture. Shout outs to Jared. Y'all see I got my thing in the back. They finally sent it to me. I done been over 100K for like 2 years. Y'all get the questions in. We got 2 questions already. All right. All right. Let's get down to the questions here. First question is going to be coming from Jerron Johnson. He says, question, yo, Aunt, I'm a Muslim brother from Philly. Can you do a lecture on older women dealing and how can it affect you? I was met her at 20 years old and she's 52. She passed away in 2019. We were together for 12 years. Okay, you were 23 years old and she was 52. It seemed like you were definitely looking for companionship from a mother. I don't know exactly where you're trying to go with this. It seems like you probably had some childhood problems and you started dating an older woman. That come from trauma as a child when you're looking for love that your parents couldn't get. And you say that she passed away in 2019, we were together for 12, then you probably haven't gotten over it yet. Truthfully, bro, I really don't. All I can say is you've been looking for love. That's why most guys search for older women. It's something with the mother that you had. The best thing that I could say is move on will take some time, but stay in there, brother. But your question that you have is I don't know how to do a lecture on dealing with that type of situation. Not a whole lecture. I can answer a question, but I don't see a lecture. I don't see myself bringing a lecture out on that. Thanks for asking the question, though, bro. Tony McMillan, he says, how can a man mentally and emotionally repair himself after being damaged by a long-term narcissist, abuse from a woman if no contact is not an option. You have to go no contact, bro. That's the only way that it's going to work. If you've been dealing with long-term narcissist abuse, chances are at this point you have Stockholm syndrome, which means that you've been putting up with her narcissism and disrespect for so long that you're programmed to go along with it. That's what Stockholm syndrome does. It takes you from being abused to being abused so much that you start to go along with it. The only way for you to correct this is to go to a no contact, or you got to find a way to get yourself busy. So in my opinion, go to the gym to work off the steam, get the blood rushing. But you have to find distractions in life that are going to make you happy. Like, regardless of what I go through in life, if I could get in my car and drive down the road, it's going to make me feel better. If I could do a piece of art, draw something, it's going to make me feel better. You have to find your outlet that's going to give you happiness as a man. This is why you may see a lot of husbands with man caves, or they working on a car, or they have a wood. They like to create wood cravings in their garage, or they have a man cave where they play video games. As a man, you have to always have something that you do that can help you get over the stresses of life, especially when you're dealing with a narcissist woman. It can be extremely hard to get over a narcissist woman because you wasn't strong when you met her. So being strong coming out the relationship is 20 times as difficult as it was at the beginning of the relationship when you were dealing with her. So in my opinion, get busy. Get busy. You must be doing things that's going to distract you from being around her. You've been with her so long, you can have Stockholm syndrome now, where you want to leave, but you can't. This is how a lot of people get stuck in those type of relationships, is Stockholm syndrome. All right, Spiritual Drip says, questions. Are Sigma males the type to lay back and observe and not absorb while they know what and who is following society? Right, that's what Sigmas do. People watch and start to make their determination where they want to go in life. One thing that Sigmas have is empathy. We can read emotions of others. So we know who to go close to and we know who to stay away from. When it comes to following society, you have to know what's going on in society to guide around it. Getting involved in society, like if you find yourself at a protest, they got you. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you're protesting for something and you're following the crowd somewhere, then that's how you get absorbed by society. But for the most part, Sigma males, how can I say it? We're loners, but we're moving. Like, we're constantly moving. We're not walking around with hoodies on, acting like we're fucking scared of people. We move through life. Like, Jay-Z is a good-ass Sigma. Kanye is a good-ass Sigma. Like, these are guys, you don't see them with groups of people. They're individuals that created their own individual name and do their own individual movements within themselves. You're still moving, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, you're going to always be absorbing society, but you're not going to follow agendas. All right. Soul of number one is next. He says, best way to deal with mentality, our baby mom's co-parenting, hooking up with her. Best way to deal with mentally baby mom's co-parenting, hooking up with her, etc. If you're hooking up with your baby mom, just be in the fucking relationship. You and your baby mom shouldn't be fuck buddies. That means there's insecurity on both ends. If you and your baby mom is fuck buddies and then y'all trying to be co-parenting, you're fucking with yourself. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So you're like, oh, we're good enough to sleep with each other, but we're not good enough to sit up and raise our kid together. So you have to stop and look at what you're doing, talking about the best co-parenting. If you're hooking up with your baby mother, all right, just get in the relationship and run it like a regular relationship. I don't know how to answer that. It seems like y'all like each other, but y'all still want the freedom that if someone else come around, then you can move and go on with them. Okay, y'all have to sit down and decide what you want to do. If y'all are still sleeping with each other, bro, let's get on the same. You and her should be on the same path. Like, that's pretty much what's going on here. If you and your baby mother, this is how I say with baby mothers. If you get in a relationship with a woman, you better help your baby mom find a man. I'm going to tell you that right now. You and your baby mother better become good friends to the point where you can hook her up with somebody, because you been in a relationship and she not being in a relationship is going to be bad for the relationship. I guarantee you, she is going to be the worst person that's ever walked into your life. But if you guys are sleeping together, I don't know what to tell you. You and her should just be in a relationship. For real, for real. That's my advice on that. He says, David Norwin, he says, are the number 3 types of narcissism, are there 3 types? There are so many different types of narcissism, bro. It's so many. So many different types of narcissism. Best thing, get outside and learn how to adjust to them. Regular dude comes through, he says, how do you feel about men having rotations at 30? Fair if you've made up it. Rotations at 30 depend on what you got going on, how busy your life is, okay? If you're running a business and you're busy all the time, you got to cut that out. If you're working a regular job and you could squeeze them in and you're just an average person, you can have a rotation because you don't have that much time set up. You may be trying to figure yourself out. If you have a rotation, make sure you're dealing with girls that are whores. I know it sounds bad for me to say that, but you do not want a rotation of good women. You want a rotation of bad girls. It's going to make it 10 times as easier to have your rotation working the way that you want to work it. You must have a rotation of women that think they're playing you. I'm going to say it again. You must have a rotation of women that think they're playing you. That's how you work a rotation at 30. 30 is not for bragging rights. Bragging rights is in your 20s to say, I'm fucking with 5 girls. At 30, no. Fucking with 5 girls, 3 of them better work for you. I'm going to say it. Rotation of 5 girls, 3 of them better work for you. That's how you do that at 30. Your rotation are women that are helping you make some money. They're helping you survive. This is why girls would be a side chick to a dude who's surviving. You feel what I'm saying? So don't have a rotation just to brag and say, I got bitches. That's in your 20s. In your 30s, your rotation has to be the girl that's more beneficial for you because you have a lot more to lose. That's my advice on that. I say you can have one, but no more than 2. Like the 3, 4, the 5s, no, 1 or 2. Because you, trust me, 1 or 2 is good. Trying to juggle too much is going to set you back. Top Form Promotions come through with the $4.99. He says, I was honest about side chick. Main girl still trying to catch me in a lie. Why? He says, I was honest. Okay, so you told your main chick about your side chick, and she trying to catch you in a lie. It sounds like she just wants something to argue about. If you've already told a woman that I'm sleeping with multiple girls and that I have another woman and she's still trying to catch you, it's maybe she feels like you're just telling her that to try to make her jealous. So now you guys are playing a relationship game where she's trying to, it sounds like you telling her that you had a side chick is now bringing in the reality show drama that exists in love and hip hop. You just put her right in the game field that she's comfortable being in. So in my opinion, it's 2 things that she's doing. She loves the drama you're bringing to her, and she finds it cute. It's a new theme in her life. Or she don't believe that there is a side chick, and she thinks that you're just telling her that to make it jealous. So now she's trying to catch you. Based off of my experiences, that's what's happening here. Because if you demand you doing your thing and you know you attract a lot of women, then she's going to be, the side chick thing is going to be something she knows that comes. But if she don't think that you can get another girl, she's going to try to catch you just to see if you were telling the truth or not. That's what I think is happening here. All right, we got Keandre comes in with, he says, have you seen the movie Up in the Air with George Clooney? That's a dope Sigma movie. Explains our situation in relationship. I'm going to have to check that out.
definitely, I'm going to have to go and check that out. Let me see. Enos had a question. I got to go back up to Enos. He says, through all your, big shout outs to Enos. He says, through all your different avenues of success in life, what motivated to push forward and keep your sanity in this crazy society? What motivates me? My imagination motivates me. When it comes to people, I never trusted anyone in my life. So with me not trusting anyone, I never rely on other people for happiness. Like, I've been a loner since a child, but I've also been the cool kid in school. I've been the nerd in school. I've got to travel around the world. So I'll probably say most of my motivation is traveling around the world and seeing that the psychologies of people are the same everywhere you go. It's just the environments are different. So having an understanding that I'm not perfect, and also having an understanding that hard work trumps all, you're going to be motivated when you realize that it's easy to do nothing. And doing nothing gives you nothing results. But I've accomplished so many little goals in life that I know the value of hard work. I know the value, like if I want to get it done, I have to block out everything and get it done, because that's how I was able to accomplish so many things in my life. But you have to understand, with me, I come from a military background. My mom in the military, my dad in the military, all of my uncles in the military. Like, I come from a militant family. My family will talk about Africa. They'll talk about so many parts of the world. When everybody get together, they're not really on that nigga shit. So you have to realize, being disciplined and being told since you were a child that you're supposed to be a king and that you're supposed to be on top of your game, and if you don't do it, you're a failure, always stuck with me. Like, you got to realize that's how my mom was putting it. My mom was like, listen, the broke nigga shit ain't gonna work, bro. Like you ain't gonna get no women. My mom used to tell me that. You're not gonna get no women. These girls are gonna play the fuck out of you, and I'll be damned if you bring home a trailer trash white chick. That's exactly what my mom used to say. Don't come up in here no trailer trash white chick, because you done got broke, and that's the only thing that you could fuck with. She used to say that. So you gotta realize, throughout my life, I was always pushed through parents and family that, yo, you have to be it. This is the only way. Like, in my household, we weren't taught to be victims. My mom was like, you got black people and you got fucking niggas. You better not be on that nigga shit, because you ain't going nowhere in life being a nigga. You better get out here and get on your grind. So as I started growing up at like 14 years old, I spent the summer in a military camp. 15 years old, spent the summer in a military camp. Why? Because my mom was the fucking drill sergeant. So she had these little camps set up, and I had to go to the camps. So at that age, I was waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, making my bed, putting on a uniform, and going to a military school. So throughout my life, I've been taught, if you want it, you got to go for it. When you get knocked down, you got to get back up. Now, I told you guys about my first fight. Now, a couple fights down the road, I'm going to go into the story, and this is my mom again. I got in a fight with a white dude at a YMCA center. And like, my mom had walked in and saw him pushing me and bullying me. And pretty much he got a good hit on me and I fell down. And they broke up the fight. But she was the one that was like, you better go back in there and handle that right now. You ain't coming back into my house until you go handle it. I had to go back in the building and fight this dude. So you have to understand that throughout my life, I was programmed that you had to be tough. You had to be strong. You had to go get it. There was no crying, and there was no crying around my mom, bro. We're talking about my mom. You want to talk about a feminist, bro? I grew up with that in the house. That I was washing dishes at 7. So you have to understand, when we were growing up, there was no fucking smartphone. There was no cell phone. There was none of that. We didn't have none of that. We had to get out the house. We didn't have none of this. So my motivation came from the fact that, oh, big shout out to Ray Allen. It just now popped up. I got you next, big dog. So you have to understand, the thing that motivates me the most is knowing that It's easy. If I stand still, nothing happens. If I complain, nothing happens. If I continue to talk, nothing happens. Nothing happens when you talk. Nothing happens when you complain. Nothing happens when you stand still. Everything happens when you start to move. That's it. I had to move. When I lived in Italy, a lot of those people didn't want to hang around me on the base, and because I wasn't married like a lot of people, as well as a lot of Italians didn't talk to us either because we were black, and a lot of people didn't even understand that. So I spent a lot of time when I lived in Italy running around Italy by myself and sometimes getting lost and people not knowing the fucking language, and I had to figure my way back to the Air Force base from being lost in Venice somewhere that I was forced to adapt. So you have to understand that in life, I'm motivated because I realize I done been around the world. It's the same shit. You accomplish nothing standing still. Nothing. You will go nowhere. Destiny's in your hand. That's it. The destiny is in your hands. If you don't take control over your life, you will fail. Species who fail to adapt will go extinct. If you don't adapt to the world, you will die off slowly, but you'll be dead here first. This is where you're going to die first. Once the depression settles in, you start to feel entitled because you're very emotional. Your life is over. The Matrix is killing more people day to day, and it's turning them into serial killers. So my motivation comes from the fact that if I stand still too long, I'm going to hate myself. I'm going to hate the people around me. I'm going to lose respect for humanity. Next thing you know, I only know evil. I can't do that. I know what it's like to set little goals and achieve them. So my motivation is for me not to go insane. You have to realize when I stop, and I'm getting to you, I still got to get to another. Ray Allen, I'm going to still get to you, big dog. You have to understand, when I stop and look at the world, I see a whole bunch of people that are walking around that are dead, lonely, sad. They don't have an imagination. They just keep looking for people to talk to make them feel good. You know what I mean? Everybody just want to socialize. But socializing is slowing people down. You have to get out and keep adjusting, but have your dreams what you want to do. I'm so used to being an artist. So when I was younger, it used to take me like hours to draw pictures. I remember I got in a weak chess game with myself. So you have to understand that I've spent enough time by myself to know what's my league, where I belong at in life. And the motivation is knowing that based off of what I'm capable of doing, I set my goals for that. Like I told y'all, I don't want to be a billionaire. Millionaire is cool, but I want to take my money and spend it on things I want to do in life. I don't have time to compete in life to be a billionaire, so when I die, I leave my money to someone that did not work hard as me. That's not the plan. Nor do I want to make a lot of money to gain fake-ass friends around me that'll turn their back at any given moment. Once you realize that most people want to compete, once you realize you have to compete to get the glory that you think you deserve, the more you're going to want to be average. That's where I settle at. My motivation comes in happiness. I'm motivated because I know as long as I get up and make it work, I would be happy. All right? You need to find out, why are you alive? What makes you happy? That's the main thing. All right, Ray Allen comes in. Big shout outs, bro. I really appreciate it. I just got in the zone on that question. Ray Allen says, what do you do when the intimacy dies down? That's where you and her have to be combative. And I keep telling you, if you look at a relationship that's been together 20 years, they don't have sex because they're combative. Everybody now, it's hard to be in a relationship because they're looking for sexual partners because they hypnotize themselves by masturbating too much. The women are masturbating just as much as the men. But what you're not realizing is every time you have an orgasm, your body, your neurological system is releasing dopamine, and it's making you addicted to the thought process that gave you the orgasm. Drugs do the same thing. Alcohol does the same thing. Gambling does the same thing. More people are addicted to masturbation. So when they look at someone for a relationship, they're looking for a sexual partner. They're not looking for someone to survive with. When you start looking for someone to survive with, that you're compatible with, your happiness is going to be there. Sex, the love doesn't kick in a relationship until the sex dies. And then you could rekindle the flame through you being combative with each other. You could create a whole nother energy. So at the beginning of relationships, everyone just finds a sex partner. Once the sex dies out, so does the relationship. When it's true love, the sex can die out and you still will enjoy each other's company. That's what you have to realize. It's all about enjoying each other's company to the point where you don't need sex every day or all the time. Most people fail because they're only looking for sex. Like you said, what happens when the intimacy died? You went into the relationship looking for intimacy. You don't go into the relationship looking for a life partner. So to them, it's like, oh, if I ain't smashing after 2 weeks, I'm gone. Or if I ain't doing this after this, I'm gone. Everything revolves around sex. If you don't fuck her brain out, she ain't gonna want to be with you. If she don't give it to you fast enough, then you ain't gonna want to be with her. But when it's all said and done, people are leveraging love through sex. No, the sex is what's fucking you up. Because once you get done licking each other's booty hole and getting your dick sucked, it ain't much for you to do. This is why these brides are out here talking about, I got peed on. I done been with 20 different dudes. My dildo is this big. Everybody who is incapable of love look for sex to do everything. But in order for you to be in a relationship, you have to find somebody that is compatible with you. You have to be able to go months without sex. This is how you may see a husband in a relationship with his wife. She got leukemia, she got cancer, and he's still there. He ain't worried about sex. He's saying, I'll go fucking beat off, but I'm standing next to my fucking woman. That's what happens when you and her are compatible with each other. If you don't look for compatibleness before the sex, once the sex dies out, that relationship is over. Me and my woman do not have sex like that, bro. But we enjoy each other's company. Like we go walk through the woods by ourselves and just talk about life. Babe, how was your day? Hey, how was this? And we're in the middle of the woods. You guys see me walking through trails all the time. That's what it's about, enjoying each other's company and respecting each other who we are, pacing the out. So what do I do when the intimacy is down? I don't allow the intimacy to die all the way out. I just pace it. What that means, I don't need sex every day. I'm too busy, bro. My woman knows that. He's writing scripts, he's editing, he's doing this, he's dealing with copyright strikes, he's dealing with lawsuits, he's dealing with that. My man can't think to have sex. She knows that. Because when she's with me, she's like, damn, he only slept 4 hours last night. He got up and went right back to work. She knows this man is locked the fuck into what he does. I'm not going to get mad if he doesn't give me sex. So you have to understand that you need to find someone you're compatible with. That's where it works, not in the sex. You got to be able to go without having sex, period. That's the first thing that's going to die out in a relationship. So hopefully I was able to answer your question on that. All right? And if you want to know more about that, ask Jared, the 20-year recovery. And he says what? This is facts, fellas. And he's a 20-year recovering sex addict. Y'all better watch out for that dude. All right? So understand, bro. All right, let's get to the next question up here. And I appreciate everybody that's sending some donations up here too, man. Y'all, let's see here. Whoa. What am I doing? All right, we're doing good. I'm about $100 away from my goal. Can y'all go ahead and help me get up there and get some donations going in while I answer some more questions, and then we're going to go into the reaction videos that I think I have. Okay, Enos, question. In life, you always view yourself as a fighter at heart or somebody that reacts when his back is against the wall. In life, I wouldn't say it like that. In life, I view everybody as being weaker and only the strongest going to survive. When it comes to your heart and your emotions and stuff, it's all like, don't put too much people keep thinking from an emotional standpoint. You have to be able to remove your emotions. I'm not walking around feeling like my back is against the wall either. And I don't put my heart into everything. I wake up and it's simple. It's like, I want to do this today. Anybody get in my way of doing this, I'm going to be extremely angry. That's how I look at it. I set goals and I wake up to achieve them. I don't look for lifetime friends. I look for seasonal friends. Like, for instance, I like riding out with my car club now. You know, it's mainly Chargers. But when I go in a couple years to get rid of these cars, I'm going to get rid of the car club too. The friends that are in the car club, I will lose them. And I would be prepared to go to the next season in life. That's what you got to realize. You only have friends in the direction that you are going. Do not have senseless friends. There's no need for you to have friends that you call up on the day that you're bored. Oh, I'm bored. Let me call and see what such and such been doing. Ain't talked to him in a year. I don't want that friend. Bye. I'm not finna call you after a year just to see what you doing because I'm sitting on my couch bored. That ain't what we doing. So you got to learn to be more disciplined to the people that you have in your life, and it makes life a lot easier. When you don't know where you want to be, you're just trying to find anywhere to fit in. Trying to find anywhere to fit in, it's going to come with complications because you're trying to force something onto someone. So in life, make sure you know where you want to go, and your friends are only in the direction that you are going. All right, that's pretty much what you want to do. How I live. I don't view myself as a fighter at heart, like, oh, I'm fighting through life and I did this. No, I've been overseas and really seen poor. And then I've came back to America and look at people in the projects and say, oh my fucking God, if you only knew the power you had. You could complain about not getting the shoes you want till you meet somebody with no feet. So you have to understand that a lot of things in life that you may be looking down on yourself at, it is somebody out there that would change places with you in a heartbeat. And I think about that. I think about the person that would change in a heartbeat with my life because I done been overseas and I done seen poor. I done been to Syria and I done seen some shit. And I'm telling you right now, when you done seen some shit, you value everything you do in life, bro. Too many of you ain't seen the shit in real life. You just watched it on the dark web. You ain't been in that position where you can die at any moment. You only seen it at the dark web. Things is different when you have the experiences. It changes you for real. The only thing that the internet does is allow you to watch what someone else has done and pretend to act like you know what the fuck is going on. It don't work like that. You have to have the life experiences in order for you to completely change. Big shout outs to Roger F.
Sweet.
That man is definitely in back to back. Really appreciate it, bro. And I know you sent me the email. You should be. I'm going to be I put the video up into the members. So yesterday live, it's now on the membership for Roger F. Big shout out to that dude. That right there is a Sigma baller. All right, big shout out to that dude. All right, so back on that. Yes, like I was saying, you must in the world that we live in now, you have to be more disciplined to your life because everybody's going insane. Everybody is losing their mind. And everything that's bad is considered good, and everything that's good is considered bad. You must be picky about the people you bring into your life because another thing is that evil is just taking over. I see it all day long. I see evil all day long, and I stray away from it because I'm not needy for friends. The more needy for friends you are, the worse your life is going to be. Me, I cut people the fuck off faster. And I could tell you this, it's because I have a woman that I trust. I'm not going to lie to you. And I got my woman when I was doing a semen retention, when I wasn't having sex, when I wasn't jerking off, the whole entire year and 4 months, that I was on a semen retention. I was getting to know my woman. We were going on dates. We were talking. But you know, in the Muslim community, there is no sex and there is no kissing. You are together or you're not. So I couldn't even do all that. At the same time, I was really on the semen retention. And it straightened me up, bro. I'm telling you. I tell guys that all the time. Learn to get in control of your desires. I showed you guys when I lived in Miami, my modeling portfolio. You saw my model portfolio of me modeling for Doja Gabbana and modeling for Inc. I showed y'all my modeling portfolio before. My modeling days, I was banging so many women in Miami, it was unreal, bro. But it came a time where I had to pop pills to bang these brides. I had to smoke a lot of weed to bang these brides. You're sleeping, you have so many women exposed to you that you just get to the point where you're having sex and it just wasn't the same for me. Sitting there getting your dick sucked or you banging her out, and then when the sex is done, you're like, man, let me just put my clothes on, bro. Like, the shit don't feel good after a while. You'll find yourself having sex and then going right back to your phone, seeing what's going on. It has no meaning. The more sex you have with random people, the less meaning that it's going to have. When I did a semen retention, it was like a born again for me. It was like it changed everything that I thought. And then the woman that I actually needed in my life popped up. I'm telling you. Before that, I was banging everything. Whatever girl thought I was cute, you gotta realize I done been through 2 Range Rovers before that, BMW, Lexuses. I done did my thing. That's why I tell you guys, you start getting out here chasing life, chasing dreams, the women are gonna pop up. It's just that when they pop up and you start having so many women to sleep with, you may just be like, this isn't what I wanted. And that's what happened with me. It's like, damn, I got so many girls to sleep with, but this is not what I want anymore because it doesn't feel the same. It doesn't. Banging a girl every night, by Friday, it does not. If you started banging a woman on Monday, a different girl on Tuesday, a different girl on Wednesday, a different girl on Thursday, by the time you get to Friday, you're probably not going to even want to get your dick up. And then you're going to, like with me, I used to always just smoke weed. You know what I'm saying? Or go over their house and sip some wine. Then when I got tired of it, it's just like, man, you banging good girls, but there's no compatibility there. I had to change. Once I changed, my views on relationship and life changed completely. And I ended up with a good girl that I have now. But you got to realize that took me 37 years to do that. So a lot of you guys, you can learn now just by paying attention to my stories. All right, let's see what else we got here. Alex, he says, question. Speaking of copyright strikes, how does YouTube handle copyright strikes? They'll give you enough time to erase it out of the video and you can edit it out. That's what I had to do. I had to hurry up and edit it out, but it all depends. Like the one yesterday, the people that saw it, I guess that owned the Chris Rock video, they completely blocked it and gave me a time limit. So they blocked it, and then they sent a message saying, listen, you don't get rid of this video in a certain amount of time, we're going to pursue the strike. So a lot of you guys that was watching the video yesterday on the playback, it cut off on you because YouTube cut it off in order to edit everything out. So when you get over 100K, your channel moves a little bit faster, and they can catch on to it a little bit faster, but it will take almost about 12 hours for it to edit all the way out, and then you won't get the strike completely. So YouTube is really fast on it, but make sure you act on it immediately because some people, I'm telling you, some people will strike you. Like YouTube tells them, all right, we're going to give them 24 hours. But they may be trying to push the shit immediately. So you definitely got to watch out for that. All right, let's see here. All right, let's see what videos I got today. I don't really have any. If you guys, okay, I don't really have anything. I have reaction videos, but after I do a lecture, I just don't like going directly into there because we are going on the next hour. Okay, let's do this. Let's go ahead and get those. Let's get some more questions in. Let's also get some more donations up. Big shout out to my man Roger F. I am actually about $49 away from the goal. Can you guys please take care of me and go ahead and hook me up while I answer some more questions? He says, do I know Big Her 96 on YouTube? No, I don't know who that is, bro. I don't know. Let's see if we can find him. Big Her 96. All right, what do you guys want me to react to? Go ahead and put it in there. Big Her. Oh, he's at Big Her. That look like the prison dude. I know who he is, but I don't know him personally. All right. He says, fitness first. He says, what do you do if a woman is playing games? I'm going to be honest with you. When you buy, pretty much what I'm going to tell her, buy. When you get serious about your money, you don't have that much time because you have to work hard. So when it comes to women playing games, I'm quick to say bye. And the reason why I'm quick to say bye is because I am fully confident in that I can get another woman. Like I say, I'm confident I can get a woman. I reject women daily because I have a woman. So I know if I'm with a girl, and it was like that even before. When you get used to having women, when women start playing games, it's more like, you said, what? Bye. You don't give her, there is no strike 2, 3, 4. I'm going to forgive you. And then when you on your 5th time disrespecting me or acting stupid, I'm telling you about what you did the first time. Like, you've been doing this and that. When you get about your money, oh, we arguing about what again? Bye. We playing what games again? Bye. You get used to just telling them bye because you don't want to go through the bullshit. All right? That's what I do about women playing games. Bye. Trust me, you got to always be confident that you can move on. All right, what we got here? Did I skip over somebody? Oh, we got Alex in the zone. Alex in the zone says, if you had 1 million subscribers, would you keep things the same or change it up? I'll keep it the same. There's no reason to change. Subscribers are, how can I say, smoke screens. You can get a lot of subscribers really fast. Like, I can put out a short right now. Let's say I put out 5 shorts back to back, back to back. That's a quick way to gain 30 subscribers through shorts, just by doing that. You got to have a loyal fan base in YouTube. That's why I had to come back to and build my brand back up as Sigma Nation, because that's the brand that initially built me. That was my audience. The reaction videos was something that the Sigma Nation audience did not want. So once I got tired of reaction videos, then my Sigma Nation audience still supported me. So I had to get back to my core audience in less reaction videos. So when you're talking about 1 million subscribers, it's more like, how did I get those 1 million subscribers? Because if I let's say I get 1 million subscribers off of a video that I normally don't do, and that's what happened to me in December, is I had 2 Andrew Tate videos back to back that got almost 1 million views. And then when they turned around and sent my regular reaction videos to those people, they rejected it, and it made the algorithm look like nobody wanted to watch my videos. And they kicked me out of the algorithm. So you have to understand, you want to get 1 million subscribers doing you that you're already comfortable with. I wouldn't get 1 million subscribers and change it up, because I don't do anything that, how can I say, I don't do anything that people find offensive. See, when women watch me, they don't say Anthony Spade is complaining, Anthony Spade's a bitch. They look at me and say, that dude really gets women, because how he psychologically breaks it down, it's from a experience level. So when I start giving advice to you guys, the women know what's going on. But the guys who don't have experiences may be under another content creator's belief system that they disagree with what I'm doing because they're under somebody else's belief system. So what you got to realize is in this space with me, I have the most power because I have the most experience. When women watch it, women don't want to counsel me because I'm not coming off bitter. A lot of guys that are doing this content, they come off so bitter that women want to counsel them because women are kind of like, you're unattractive anyway. You're corny anyway. You should just be shutting the fuck up. This goes back to why the woman disrespects you. If you look like a cornball, act like a cornball, complain like a cornball, then they're going to want to counsel you. That's how it works. The women never wanted to counsel me. The women have always backed up and said, yo, Aunt, you do be spitting that real shit because you don't come off bitter. The people that wanted to counsel me were the fucking bots. They were the TikTok bots were trying the hardest to counsel me. So I don't have to change it up, bro. I could take Sigma Nation all the way to the top because I don't come off bitter. My game is authentic because it's coming from a realistic point of view. Antho in the building. Came through with the $4.99. Antho, really appreciate it. You was in here yesterday, my man. Who else? Ray Allen came back with another one. All right, let's see here. I'm about to get to you, Ray. All right, we're going back down into Ray. Ray Allen, I'm 35 and I still love macking. Any advice moving forward? Just make sure you're dealing with girls for the streets because at 35, a lot of girls that are out there are looking for a relationship if you're dealing with girls your age. Make sure with me, when I was out here and I knew I was going to have multiple girls, I always dealt with girls that thought they had other guys, that thought they were playing me. That's what you want to aim for. You want to know you're dealing with a girl that's probably going to smoke cigarettes. She's probably going to drink. She's going to be a little loud. Those are the girls that you want to mac to. You don't want to be out here macking to a girl who eventually is going to want a relationship. Like, that's just real talk. So the only advice I could tell you about that is keep it down. If you're going to be a Mac Daddy, let's not try to juggle 3. 2 is good enough. That way you could build a chemistry rapport with them. In a relationship, you can have 2 last longer than 3. But make sure you're dealing with girls. Try to aim for women that's telling you, I don't want a man. I just want to be a friends with benefits. Keep it there. Find the girls that's okay with that. It makes everything easier in the long run. That's my advice. All right, let's see what else we got. So if you out here mad macking, Ray Allen, all right, just take it easy. It's easy now. I could tell you, it is so easy now. If you're outside, any man that's outside right now and you know you're living day-to-day life and you're walking around, bro, it is so fucking easy. All right. He says you should look at up in the air clips. Up in the air clips? All right. All right. I'm going to get to it, Keandre. Let me see. Oh, he dropped the link.
Make about 90 grand a year now.
All right, here we go. We're going to go through the clip brought to you from Keandre. All right, let me cut the volume up. Okay, this is going to be an up in the air clip. It says, let's see here. Jamie Huffman's definitely in the building. Really appreciate you, bro. He said, thanks for your advice from last week. Really appreciate it, my man. You guys are getting me closer. I'm about $40 away. Let's get to it. Let's see what we got here. This is brought to you from Keandre, and this is a movie clip, Up in the Air. How much did they pay you to give up your dreams? All right, let's see what they got to say. All right, we back. Okay. He's pretty much telling him, that you gave up your dreams in order to be a father that makes $27,000 a year, and your kids don't even look up to you because you value how you treat them to what they're going to think about you. All right, this goes back to what I've always told guys. 90% of men don't want to be rich. They want to be in love. They want to have children. That's what they want to do. They want to just build a family. The volume should be back up. He said, I put 2 links up in the error scenes. All right. Where's the... All right. Send the second link. Send the second link. Okay, in this situation, a lot of guys, they give up. They don't have dreams. Let me just start off there. Most people do not have a dream at all because most people cannot visualize themselves in the future. In order for you to have a dream, you must visualize yourself in the future, and then you start to pursue that dream. Most people have a hard time just forgetting about the past and writing down what they want to do with their life in order to visualize themselves accomplishing it, in order to get up and work on it every day. People don't have that. People have, I just want to be in love, and I just want to be a great father. Because thinking about the future and thinking where they want to go is hard, let alone getting up and pursuing it. So you have a lot of people out here, that's it. It's easier for them to just go work a regular job because their heart cannot fathom the pain and work ethic that it takes to get to the top. It requires a certain demeanor for you to get up every single day and push it to the max. It requires a certain type of aggression to prove to yourself that you can make it happen. And this is what women are doing. Women are programmed to wake up every day and push it to the max to accomplish something. So in that little clip, it's showing you exactly what most guys are going to go through in their life. Most people do not want to be rich, but society says you have to be rich. You have to make a lot of money. You have to do this in order to be happy. When it comes to life, the thing about life that I think sucks the most is that it gives you too many options. When people try to stop and think about their dreams, it's so many scenarios that pop up that once people take in these scenarios, the biggest thing that sets them back is the 2 words that I told you a couple of days ago. What if? This is what gets in the middle of most people's dreams, is that word, what if. The moment you start brainstorming what you want to do with your life, you find yourself saying, what if this happens? What if that happens? What if this happens to me? What if that happens to me? And the word what ifs place so many scenarios into your brain that it's hard for you to think where you want to go, and it's easy to settle. That's what most people do. All right, let's get to the next clip. It's going to be, all right, let me pull that down. Okay, we're going to go into the next clip where he realized he is the side piece. All right. My reaction to this situation.
You satisfied with Maestro?
This is a situation where friends with benefits go left. This is why I tell you guys in a lot of cases when it comes to friends and benefits and it comes with a woman, you have to get involved in these situations with no emotion, and it must be strictly sex. You cannot give off 2 flows. In other words, you can't, what comes out of your mouth can't be what you really mean. And a lot of people go through that whatever comes out of their mouth, what the fuck? What the fuck? Are you guys still there? Hold on. It looks like I just got a check. That's YouTube sending me a message for copyright. All right, we back? Y'all let me know if we back. They just first took it down. All right, everybody here? All right, shit. All right, So we're back. It looks like they had blocked me out. I got a YouTube warning. I know. For playing that video. I just seen it. They interrupted it. Go here. All right, we back. All right, guys, we can't do no more of those. We can't do no more of those. Keandre, you sent it over here, bro, but I just got a strike. It's all good. They just froze it up for a little bit. Okay. When it comes, that's a situation where friends with benefits now tries to transition over into a relationship. And I think that I got asked that question a couple lives ago where someone says, how do I take a friends with benefits relationship into a real relationship? You can't do it because the woman has already placed you inside of that realm with her. She's already placed you inside the situation where she's like, this is the guy I'm just going to sleep with. This is not the guy that I want to marry. Women 9 times out of 10 are going to marry the guy that she could get the bigger bang from the buck. The guy that can play the husband role, but also survive longer with. And then she has these guys that she plays around with. You have a lot of people in marriages that get involved in these type of situations, but they normally get involved in situations that they know that they can control what's happening in the situation. So when you guys start getting in friends and benefits relationship, you must understand that at some point it is going to end. At some point it is definitely going to end. And when it ends, you must be prepared to move on with your life. That's exactly what's going on. So, yeah. All right, so we done with that clip. I can't really do no clips no more. They held it down. They just blocked it out, I think. Let me see. All right, all they did was just block it out. So I got to be careful coming back up here in the live with those little clippings. All right, that's probably it for reaction videos. I'm like $20 off. Let me get another $20 from someone to go ahead and get me in there, and I'm going to answer some more questions. If you have any more questions, go ahead and get them in real quick. Put some music in the background. You said YouTube be tripping. You're right. Somebody said, what do you think about asexual men? Asexual men. Man, let's get a real question in there, bro. Let's get a real question in there, bro. Question. Can you tell constructive criticism from destructive criticism? Well, constructive criticism is typically something that you agree with yourself that you never looked into. Destructive criticism is things that's going to harm you. So a lot of criticism will take you and make you a better person that you see, and a lot of destructive criticism is something that's pretty much going to destroy you. It's something that's going to go against you, in my opinion. All right. Can you do something on mental illness and relationships? Like, what you mean mental illness and relationships? All right. Like, what do you want me to talk about on mental illness and relationships? Most of these relationships are mentally ill. The mental illness is high. He says, Jordan Q says, if a girl changed moods every second, how do you deal with it? Get away from it? Period. The main thing that you guys have to learn to do is take control over your life. Take control over your male friends. Take control over your women friend that you have in your life. That's the main thing. You must be able to take control over your life in order for you to win. With no control over your life, You're going to always be going backwards in life, and that's what you don't want to do. Stop putting your happiness into other people. You know what I'm saying? That's the main thing. Don't put your happiness into other people, and life would be all right. Narcissist baby mom. I get so many narcissist baby moms, bro. We talked about that earlier today. All right, let's see here. All right, looks like we already getting ready to hit the second hour. All right, I've already knocked out my lecture. Let's go ahead and get some likes up. I want to give a shout outs to Antho, Ray Allen, Alex in the Zone, Roger F, Ray Allen again, Top Form Promotions. Let me see who else donated. Jamie Huffman, Antho, Ray Allen, Alex in the Zone, Roger F, Sons of Number One, Ross Peru, Rodney Scott, Top Form Promotions again, Jared, 20-year recovery, The Regular Dude, Sarah Williams, big shout outs to her, Regular Dude again, Spiritual Alpha, Regular Dude again, and that's it. That's all the donators for today. I think we get ready to go ahead and get on up out of here. Let me see what we got. Anything else come through? He says, how do you block out negative thoughts that come at you? You can't. You just have to not act on them. Everybody's going to have negative thoughts. You just can't act on them. You got to learn to control your environment when you walk around. Everybody's going to have negative thoughts, bro. It's how you act on it. All right, Briz Walls, what inspired you to start this channel? What was there anything specific? I was doing this type of stuff before. I was doing this to friends, just people that knew me. I was always giving them advice about women and giving them advice about life. And then they kind of pushed me into doing the channel. Just that when I started doing it, the views came in so fast. People followed me so fast. It's like I was put in position to become a YouTuber fast. But I did film a lot at the beginning, like a lot, because I had a lot to say. So the advice that I'm giving people online is something that I was already doing in real life. YouTube just made it easier to monetize from it. That's what got me into it. Isaiah Williams, what does it mean if a person has colored hair? Then they're going through a confusion state of their life. That's what most different color hairs are going to be. Someone going through a confusion stage of their life. Let's see here. Make sure you guys are putting questions. Should a man date if he's mentally ill? No. But mentally ill people don't know they're mentally ill, but not feeling off to go at the crazy house. Listen, date when you feel good. We live in a world where everyone is messed up. Can you date two lesbian women? No. You guys come up with these off-the-wall things, but it's okay. I wouldn't even want to date a lesbian woman. She's already going through confusion. All right. Unless it looks somewhat natural. I don't deal with women with colored hair at all. I don't deal with colored hair at all. Communist, he said it was a joke, dude. Like, right, but when I'm doing question time, I want to get real questions. Like I told y'all before, my moderators are not going to play with y'all. They're not going to play. Like the system ain't going to play with y'all when it comes to these questions that you be asking. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, looks like we're at the end of the live. I may come back on later on tonight. We got hand sanitizers in the building. He says, currently working, listening to you, OG. Big shout outs, man. Really appreciate it right now. All right, question. How did you convince yourself to go into semen retention phase? Because I got bored banging bitches. Banging them for no reason. You see, the guy that doesn't get sex, you just can't wait to have sex. You can't wait to fall in love and have sex. You can't wait to get used to having sex. So everybody base relationships on sex that don't have options for people. That's just real. When you start getting girls that want to be with you and they want to give you the pussy all the time, sex gets extremely old fast, and you need something deeper than that. Why you think these celebrities why you think they don't be going out here dating hood rats and marrying hood rats? You got dumb celebrities that do it, but most of them don't. It's because, look at why you think Drake is still single. It's because he's not stupid. He knows, like, bro, I could keep banging these women, but there's nothing real out there. Finding something real is going to be hard. Finding sex is easy because all of that is physical. You could easily get women to want to have sex with you, but the connection is different. Finding that one person that you're just comfortable being around, going places, is different. When you only think with your dick, you going to end up with the wrong woman because the wrong woman has the best sex. It's the same thing with the wrong man. He has the best sex. Why? They got all day to think about it. When you get on your grind, you ain't got all day to think about sex. People who ain't going nowhere got all day to think about sex. So you have to understand that you need to find in a relationship compatibleness, because once the sex get old, you need to find your happiness. I jumped into a semen retention because it's like, yo, I'm not happy banging different girls. Let me just not have sex and just start working on celibacy to fix my brain. That's it. And it worked. It worked. But you at least got to get tired of having sex, bro. If you ain't tired of having sex, then you're going to base what you like out of a woman based off your sexual attraction. Right? We almost set the goal. Let me get $20 more. Somebody send over $30. Let's get to the next question. Or is that it? All right, look like I done answered all the questions. All right, here we go. He says, DJ Mostook says she is posting on her WhatsApp other man complimenting her status, knowing that I do see it, even though there is nothing bad going. I told her not to post too much. What should I do? Leave the relationship. Leave the relationship. The problem is, you guys, by the time you get around to complaining about what a woman is doing that you with, you've already let her get away with so much other stuff that now she's running amok over you because that's just what she's used to. When it comes to women, male friends, like, think about it. If she really likes you, she's not going to do it. When women really like you, they're not trying to do anything to aggravate you. When they know that you're desperate and you're not confident going nowhere, then they're going to continue to do what they want to do and get you mad, hope that you get mad enough and leave. That's what they're trying to do. She's trying to piss you off because she has the power to do what she want to do, and you're just going to stand there and complain. If you stop complaining to a woman about what's going on and just get up and leave her, you're going to get better results. Don't be afraid to tell a woman, listen, them niggas in your DM is bums. Go pick one of them. Like, I'm not afraid to tell a girl that. Go pick one of them dudes that got all day to text you. One of them dudes that got all day to say he love you. That shit is corny. You gotta, man, I grew up in a whole different era where we didn't have cell phones. You had to have game. It's just that now it ain't about game. It's just overanalyzing everything. That's one of the main things that guys need to do. Xavier, do you do one-on-one sessions? No. Every time I did a one-on-one session, you guys just want me to co-sign your bullshit. Y'all don't want the answers, so I stopped doing it. All right, let's see here. Did I go through what George Clooney went through in the movie? No, because what George Clooney went through in the movie is typically something that a Sigma male doesn't go through. A Sigma male is so far into his own world, he wouldn't find time to be a friends with benefits and try to take it serious. Our friends with benefits may last a day and then we're done with her once we realize that it's no chemistry there. I became Sigma because I'm used to being an introvert that's been programmed to chase his dreams. That's what makes me there. The psychology of life comes from the fact that, yes, my mother is a psychiatrist, but also I've been around the world. So I've seen the psychology of human beings in different countries and how they operate. And I've been through so many psychological situations that made me stronger. Remember, I was in basic training at 14, 15 years old, but I also went to the military at 18. So far as psyche, I've been taught to look at people, read their brains, study their moods, etc., etc. And that's what makes me Sigma, is that I'm a natural introvert that do extroverted things to get what I want out of life, but then I always resort back to being an introvert. So I can see things from a psychological level, but I'm using the psychological advantage to get what I want out of life. I'm not putting knowledge in my body just to have the knowledge. I utilize all the knowledge that come to my brain, and I use it in a real life. The internet is filled with people that's just collecting knowledge, but don't have any ambition to go use it. They're just pretty much books. A lot of people are human books, but they don't have ambition to get out and utilize their knowledge. All right, hopefully you guys are able to get that. Mr. Alberto, question. If you realize the relationship is over, infinity and lies, but there are little kids and property, what is the safe steps to protect yourself? Get a lawyer. You're going to have to get a lawyer before she gets a lawyer and start studying the laws, because it's going to boil down to the laws. The best thing for you to do is to get a lawyer. A lawyer is going to break down to you the proper way to go, but you also want to get a lawyer that before she does. So you already got the heads up. That's the best thing that I can say do. Because when it comes to relationships and kids and properties, that's going to have to be sorted out, bro. That's definitely going to have to be sorted out. The best way to do it is through a lawyer. All right, let's see here. Facts 912. I was a sex addict. Let's see if we got any other questions. He says, what happens if she doesn't want you around other women? Jealousy and insecurity. Jealousy and insecurity. You guys, this when it comes to life, this is what you guys got to have to start trying to figure out. What do you want to do with your life? Where do you want to be? That's the main thing. Not what type of woman you have now, how to get out of a relationship. If you was to stop and look at yourself in 5 years and say, what do I want to accomplish in 5 years? How do I want my life to be in 5 years? And start working towards that. Start working towards that. All right. Should men ever hit women? Only in self-defense. If you have a woman beating you down, then you're okay to defend yourself. In the world that we live in now, that's perfectly okay because the laws have changed. So it is an abuse if you done took a couple licks from her and then you're just defending her off you, then there's nothing wrong with that. Abuse is when you're coming home from work and you're angry and you just decide to take it out on your family. That's abuse. But if you're defending yourself, then it's okay to hit a woman and tell her to get up off you because she's already abused you. So that's how you got to look at it. The laws have changed. And you guys have to understand, man, a lot of these girls are looking for a man. Women are just looking for a fucking man. Looking for a fucking man, bro. That's it. This shit is easy. When it's all said and done, this shit is easy, man. The problem is men got to get back to being men. The girls have reached their pinnacle. They're starting to retrace. It's just that as they retrace, you still got guys that are complaining, standing still. And the women are kind of like, all right, bro, stop complaining. Like show us something new now. That's what women want. They want leadership. Okay. Boot Gang, he says, how to stop caring about what people think. Realize that the world's not perfect. Get in the mirror and point out all your flaws. Tell yourself you don't care. The only way it works. Ray Allen's back in again. Ray Allen says, great show. It's tough, but we got to know the truth. I know. That's the sad part. All the guys. %90 of guys now, as I stop and do my analysis of life and I go places, most men now will get played by women for the rest of their life. Because I don't think men want to be men. I really don't think men want to be men. I think that men have found a way to complain, join other guys to complain. The culture of complaining is just increasing. But one thing about complaining is still going through one ear and out the other. On top of that, women have joined the movement too. Look at Sigma Male. Man, you have so many women doing Sigma Male content. Like you had a girl who did a 5-hour live whispering, teaching good dudes how to be a Sigma Male. And I'm like, what the fuck? What is this? Like, you guys just want sex. You want to look at naked women. Or you guys don't listen to these women. You guys be watching their channel just to look at their breasts or something that turns you on. Men would never... It's over. It's over. There's not enough men with testosterone. It's not. There's not enough men who want to get on their grind. There's not enough men who want to be the best version of themselves. Because what it takes to be that man is something they don't see themselves being. We're in a position where, Antho with the 99 cents, big shout outs, bro, really appreciate it. We're in a position now where guys are so caught up in the trends that complaining about women have become a culture. And I think guys are just stuck there. I think it's just stuck where, all right, let's just complain. Let's find a new way to complain. Let's listen to complaining again. Let's just go all over again and do it again. Let's just complain. I think guys are stuck inside of that trends that they're not going to come out of. And what they're not realizing is that girls have outgrown it. Women are really at the level where they're like, dude, like, just be a fucking man. That's where they're at. Women are kind of like, but what are you doing outside of complaining? That's the sad part. Men don't know how to move forward anymore. They don't know how to play sports. They don't know how to build a house. They don't know how to chase their dreams. It's like every guy is just looking to group up with another guy and do something. Let's just group up and talk how bad these women are. Or let's just group up and pretend to be alpha. It's an individual game. I try to find, like, I can't even hang out with guys because they seem to be a little bit more girlier than the women. So even as a man that could be a good leader in real life, I still have to keep men in real life distance from me because they react to things the same way that a woman does. Shout out, Xavier's definitely in the building. He says, thoughts on prenups. If you had it before her, prenup. If she helped you build, give her a piece. That's how I see it. She helped you build, give her a piece. If you had it before her, definitely prenup. Those are my thoughts. Because if a woman sits back and help you build, she deserves something. You have to be fair to life. But if you knew you had it and she attracted to you having it, definitely a prenup because she's coming to get it. All right? That's my advice. But when it comes to the modern men now, when I look at the modern men have become the old women, and the old women have become modern men. So I don't see how we undo that. I don't see how the undoing is going to be. You still got niggas in the gym trying their hardest to claim bitches in the gym. Like, I be seeing so many corny niggas in the gym. Girls be using them just to work out. And they be like, bro, you think motherfuckers in here are jealous that you get to help her work out on the machine? You making yourself look like a fucking clown. You know what I'm saying? You have so many guys that are still doing so much lame nigga shit that it just be like, how are you guys still doing lame nigga shit? That's the part that I don't get. I don't get that. That's the hardest part that I'm trying to understand. It's like when do we get to the point where guys are worse at being fucking simps than what they have ever been? That's the part. And it boils down to jerking off too much. Being addicted to fucking naked women. Everything is sex now. Every girl. And that's why I feel sorry for women. On the women's side, it's like, you're too slutty for a guy like me to want you. I had to go get me a really, really good woman, an Arab woman who covers up every day. Most of the women have to look like fucking sluts to get attention. You have to look like you're just a sex object to get attention. So you're going to keep attracting all the fucking simps. You just keep attracting simps over and over and over again. And then you be wanting a guy like me to do the same thing they doing. Are you fucking kidding me? That's the biggest disappointment, is sitting back watching all this fake ass shit in the world happen. That's all I got to say, man. It's like, I don't know where men are going to go from here. There is nowhere to go. I think that we've complained enough. If you think that we've complained enough about women at this point. All right? We know the bad. We know what they can do to you. The question is, what's next? You feel what I'm saying? That's the question. What's next? You're going to continue to complain? We're going to continue to do that? Like, that's just the big deal. Like, that's where I get stuck at sometimes. I get stuck at, like, what the fuck is next? And we got Aaron M. He says the only option is getting passport. Even doing passport, to do what? What you get what's the passport going to do? The passport doesn't guarantee anything. Most of those, the passport doesn't really do anything. Guys, it's a movement now, but it's just another cult of people under a belief system again. They're not guaranteed to get your passport and go get a wife. There's no guarantee that those girls are going to like you. Majority of those girls are looking for a free ride to the United States to become a citizen. Period. That's what they're looking for. You can easily say get a passport. Not many guys can leave their job and go move to another country. It doesn't work that way. And if you just go in there just to get some pussy, you could save a lot of money going to fuck downtown in your city and getting bitches too, because either way you're losing. You have to, the only way you gain is if you move to another country, like the guy moved to Thailand. He's making out better than everybody because he got a woman to marry him and adjust to him. But the other dude, Austin, those girls are not adjusting to him. The one girl said one time on his live, like, I ain't going to be fucking with you like that in a little bit. She told him, I'm not going to be messing with you. So you have to understand that you can go overseas. You can get a lot of women, but you're not necessarily going to go over there and fucking live like a king. You're not going to go over there and girls are just going to be bowing down to you. They're going to be going over there and they're going to say, hey, where's my money? Pay me to do that. So passport, bro, like I get it, but like let's stick with reality here. What the fuck are you really doing with your life that women don't like? That's what it's going to boil down to. It's going to boil down to, what are you really doing with your life that women don't like or that they do like? You just can't say passport bros and get out of the city. That's internet talk. That's matrix talk. That's outlet talk. That's like, oh, let's just say this so they feel bad. Women don't give a fuck about you because they didn't want you in the first place. That's why you want to get a fucking passport. Let's keep it funky here. Y'all ready to keep shit real here in Sigma Nation? Get your fucking money together. Get the fuck off. Get your fat ass off the fucking computer and go down to the damn gym. Women want protection, entertainment, and financial stability. Look like a man that can defend yourself. That's what you want. All of y'all want love. All of y'all want women. It starts off with your self-confidence. The less confidence you have as a man, the more control she's going to have over you. It's that simple. There's no special way to handle a narcissist. She's already won. You have to leave her alone. All these problems you guys are having in relationships, there's only one. There's only one cure for it. And that cure is called leave her alone. Once you're able to leave her alone and fix yourself, you'll be all right. I think that a lot of guys are trying to find something in women that doesn't exist. I think you have to find it in yourself. And then the woman that you're supposed to be with is going to pop up. That's how I see it, man. It has more to deal with self. I just think that where we're at now, why the disease continues to happen and why men aren't necessarily learning is that there's just way too many content creators now to keep the hypnosis going. That's what I think. I think that with the amount of content that's out here, everybody is in a loop. When I sit back and look at it, man, it's like everybody is coming to give the weak man words that he wants to hear. Nobody wants to hear the truth. The truth is you have to become the best version of yourself or you will fail. It's that simple. What we got going on in here? Hey, I'm about $20 away from the goal. Let's go ahead and get some donations up. Show me some love. Get some questions going on here. The best thing for men to do is just know what you want out of life. That's the only thing that you got to do. Know what you want out of life. And then women come easier than that. All right? I'm getting ready to get off. There's really nothing else going on here. We reacted to some videos. I've been on here almost 3 hours. So if I find another subject, I may come back on later on tonight. I wanted to really knock that out. All right. And I'm getting ready to go ahead and get on up off the live, man. I want to thank everybody coming out, everybody that donated to the channel. All right, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Comment, like, subscribe to both of my channels, and I may try to come back later on tonight, or I may put out another video. All right, hasta la vista.